presentation with a video.
Hey, how you doing? I'm going to need you to go ahead and lead this because there's going to be a meeting with the FI on grads and SENs and oils, and it probably is going to involve A&I, and that's ITSD2, which is now EITS. You're going to have to remember that. It's going to be about the SDLC, and I think we're going to move over to the attributes. So you're going to have to learn about that. That's not in here, but you can find out about that. So, hey, I almost got that with the book. That's a shame. You're going to like the meeting. It's a really nice schools over in 8 Ormond and River. You're going to need a little drive to 4:30 or so. If you've got a cardboard or something, you're probably going to know that you're going to be late, or maybe miss it, arrange for somebody else to pick you up. That really hit the spot. You want that back? You just have a great day. We'll see you at 4:30.
Excuse me, do you know where the Redwood conference room is at? The Red room? No, the Redwood conference room. Sorry, I don't know.
Ladies and gentlemen, memories are the key, not to the past, but to the future. And if by looking at this video brought your old memories to life, then the onboarding team is here to present to you the future. My name is AJ Chand, and I'm part of the onboarding team.
I'm Rebecca Wade.
Troy Sescal,
Pamela Lascano,
Cindy Kruger,
and Shelley Landano.
Now let me ask you one question, and that is, when do you think onboarding begins? Okay. Onboarding is a process that begins when the current employee gives the notice that he or she is leaving the position. It is a process where the new employee is welcomed into the workplace and given the tools and knowledge needed to become successful on their job. Onboarding encompasses activities from pre-arrival through the end of the employee's first year, and is a process that needs to be managed over the entire period of time. This will require a commitment from both the new employee and the employer, but both will see great future from this process, since onboarding can help reduce stress associated with starting a new job. Onboarding programs can contribute to maintaining a healthy organizational culture by providing a warm welcome, affirming the new hires' choice of employment, matching new hires to appropriate mentors, helping new hires acclimate to their new work environment, and last but not the least, helping them understand the organization's goals and mission. The project, or the purpose of the project, was to document a consistent onboarding and new hire training process to support hiring managers and new employees in joining Camus and becoming educated on the culture and work efforts of the division. We developed our project to create accessible and accurate information and people resources available to Camus new hire employees on day one and throughout their first 4 weeks of employment regarding their division, their branch, section, unit, and their individual jobs. Agile. During Cohort 2, emerging leaders work groups were educated on the Agile methodology and were asked to focus on this evolutionary method when making recommendations and working on project deliverables. Agile is a philosophy or set of values that promotes delivery of products through a time-boxed logical approach. Agile encourages rapid and flexible response to change and type interactions, with the approval, in our case, of the sponsor, Bob Huskisson. Agile these teams take on prioritized business needs and deliver solutions in a short period of time. Throughout the course of this presentation, you may see the following symbol on many of the slides. This symbol is used to indicate where, in the creation of our project, we utilize the Agile methodology. Now, I'll hand the presentation over to Rebecca, who will be explaining our key decisions and deliverables. Rebecca.
In keeping with the theme of utilizing Agile in the development of our project, and in conjunction with project sponsor feedback, we came up with a set of deliverables which would allow us to properly explore, develop, implement, and revise project milestones with the intention of developing a onboarding and new hire training program for the division. These deliverables, also known as our product backlog, are comprised of the Camus Onboarding New Hire Survey, New Hire Training and Onboarding Pilot Program and Participant Interviews, and Project Presentation and Recommendations. Over the course of developing this project, we were able to complete 100% of our deliverables. The first deliverables, when we determined that the voice of Camus employees would give us an accurate assessment of the current state of the union in regards to current onboarding and new hire training processes and procedures for the division. A survey was sent to all Camus staff on February 11, 2015, with a request that participants give their honest and candid feedback of the current onboarding and new hire training procedures. Of the 64 respondents, 67% have been at Camus for less than 5 years. 56% believe it takes more than 1 year to truly become acclimated to working at Camus. 70% believe a more effective new hire onboarding and new hire training program would impact their decision to become a long-term Camus employee. Additionally, 70% of these people did not receive a history of the Camus and FI relationship. 51% did not receive a tour of Xerox facilities. 27% did not meet with a manager during their first 1 to 2 days, and 86% did not receive clear, concise, and up-to-date desk procedures. In addition to the multiple choice questions, we also asked survey respondents to provide us with written feedback of their experiences of the current Camus new hire and onboarding training program. The following is just a very small portion of the feedback we received. Not much of a process in place right now. Don't know what it is at this time. I've been here for almost 1 year and 3 months. What onboarding new hire training process? I didn't know one existed. There's a major lack of desk procedures and contact information for functional areas. It is very difficult for a new employee to know where to go to get answers. There currently is no process. If something is visible, if there is something, it is not visible and or structured. I feel like it's sink or swim right now. Is there a process in place? And no effective, no procedural manual in place for all work areas, and a lack of mentoring due to workload. We utilized this feedback provided by the survey in conjunction with the project sponsor's vision and our own experiences as Camus new hires to develop a new hire training and onboarding program. We developed this pilot program to provide managers with a packet that details the steps and guidelines to follow during the new hire's first day, week, and month at Camus. We distributed to this packet, I skipped a whole crap, sorry. This is also where we completed our first deliverable. We distributed this packet with a cover letter detailing the purpose of the program to managers with incoming new hires and asked them to follow the instructions and suggestions set forth in the packet. The creation of this packet allowed us to utilize our creative freedom to build a pilot program addressing the needs of survey respondents in an attempt to create cohesive directives for an effective onboarding and new hire training program. My teammate Joyce will now go into further detail about what the pilot program entails.
Thank you, Rebecca. The first item the packet addresses is the pre-arrival. Have you ever showed up to work on your first day and wondered, did they know I was coming? The onboarding team feels in order for the new hire to be set up for success, it is necessary to ensure that a new hire's desk is fully functional on the first day. Managers should coordinate with IT to ensure the new hire is able to access their computer and the network. At that time, and to have essential office supplies on the employee's desk upon arrival. As AJ stated, onboarding begins when the current employee gives notice they are leaving. At that time, the exiting employee should be required to update their desk procedures. As Rebecca stated, 86% of survey respondents said they did not receive current desk procedures. Clear and concise instructions that are up to date will not only help the new hire, but will also assist management in documented knowledge transfer. Prior to the first day, the manager will contact the new hire to confirm their start date, give them parking and security information, and also give them the name of the new hire host that's assigned to them. Think back to your first day at work. For some, there could be nervousness, fear, or even a little anxiety. That is why our team recommends a new hire host. A host is the first contact to the new hire and will connect with them for the first month while the new hire gets situated. A host is a resource for questions and general company guidance. And ultimately, the host helps to make the entry into Camus as smooth and seamless as possible. The host is responsible for a number of tasks during the new hire's first day, first week, and throughout the first month. First day activities should include greeting the new hire, assisting them with getting their badge, giving them a general tour of the facilities, escorting them to meetings such as the unit meeting, the manager meeting, and their meeting with human resources. In the first week, the host would demonstrate online tools and processes such as Outlook and the new hire email. They would set up an FI tour and other necessary training as instructed by the manager. And then eventually the long-term mentoring program. When the long-term mentoring program is in process, the host would hand over the new hire to the mentor at the end of the month. It is also important to establish contact at the first opportunity, and that is why the onboarding team feels it is necessary for managers to get to know their new hire and vice versa. As the saying goes, one never gets a second chance to make a good first impression. A few suggestions for discussion in the manager meeting are the importance of how their specific job relates to the organization as a whole, expected work hours, probation reports, and why they are important as a means for further training and improvement. And lastly, encourage questions or concerns from the new hire. It is important to let them know that their growth and success is essential to the organization as a whole. And now let me introduce Pamela, who will discuss the unit section meeting and human resources.
Thank you, Joyce. After the one-on-one meeting, manager's meeting that Joyce just spoke about, it is recommended that the manager holds a unit or section meeting to make in-depth introductions with the new hire and the individuals they'll be working with. This meeting will serve to make the new employee comfortable, help them integrate into the unit, and give them the ability to locate resources within their own unit and section in order to become quickly more successful in their new position. The meeting should start with personal introductions. Each member would introduce themselves, share how long they've worked for the state and how long they've worked for Camus. Employees should be encouraged to describe the type of work that they do at Camus and how they can be a resource to the new hire. We recommend making these meetings entertaining and energizing, and icebreaker games and treats are always recommended. Hey, who's that hottie? One of the common concerns voiced was the desire to connect with human resources. As part of the pilot program, our team recommended the manager set up a quick introduction to the Camus HR representative or personnel liaison. She is easily found as she looks exactly like me and apparently dresses in the same outfit. The personnel liaison will be able to answer any questions the new employee may have regarding the purpose of new hire forms and timeframes for completing the forms. This meeting will also serve to establish a point of contact for the employee for any future HR-related questions or inquiries. New hire emails and Camus learning checklist. It's recommended that every new hire at Camus receive a new hire email from their manager or the new hire host, should the manager delegate that responsibility to them. The purpose of this email is to provide the new hire with links to important resources such as CalPERS, the Camus Division SharePoint, and Xerox SharePoint. This email should also contain information and resources specific to the new hire's unit and section, as well as the branch and the division, such as links to the telephone directory and the Camus functional directory, and any other important information that any employee would need. The Camus learning checklist will also be emailed to the new employee, which will contain additional resources for employees in training and development. Many employees are unaware of the free training that is available to them through the Office of Workforce Planning and Development and the Medi-Cal Learning Portal, which has such classes as Here at Camus with the Xerox Facility Tour. Our group took this tour as part of our research for this project, and I'm telling you that we learned more about the Camus and Xerox relationship in the 2 hours in that class than we did after years of working at Camus. So it's highly recommended not only for new hires, but for seasoned employees who may need a little bit more information about what goes on behind the scenes. The Camus Learning Checklist will also include links to outside training resources, such as the CPS Training Center. CPS Training Center is not a state agency, but they are geared towards training state employees. Recently, my manager told me he went to training and he received a training packet that had the DHCS mission statement included. So that's a very highly recommended training center, and they also provide treats. We feel it is best to give all of this information to the employee up front, rather than to have them search for it or ask for it, so that they don't have to run around being confused, but also to confirm that they have made the right decision when making the choice to work at Camus. That concludes our second deliverable. And now Cindy will present to you our third deliverable, the pilot program interviews.
While applying the Agile methodology, a portion of our project was implemented to new incoming hires and their managers. Our team conducted interviews with them to ensure that we were developing an effective onboarding process. We also interviewed a control group of individuals that did not receive any onboarding or new hire training. We used these findings to fine-tune our project and eliminate areas that were not necessary, and we expanded other areas to provide new hires with the best onboarding experience possible. So, a quick recap. AJ defined the onboarding scope and the Agile methodology that we used. Rebecca discussed the survey and the feedback we received, and thank you all who filled that out. That was very helpful. With those responses, together with our sponsor, Bob, his direction, we developed our pilot project, which was discussed in detail by Joyce and Pamela, and then we did some post-implementation reviews. So what's our next steps? Our team's recommendation is to form an onboarding new hire committee, which would cultivate things such as a Welcome to Camus PowerPoint for the new hire to view on their first day. Also a mentoring program, not only for the new hire staff, but also for existing staff that want to further their knowledge. In addition, this committee would continue to monitor the onboarding process and further develop ways for it to be successful for new hire staff. Our vision for the Welcome to Camus PowerPoint that I was talking about earlier is to not only be an instrument that puts faces to names, such as the director and executive management, but also to portray what Camus has to offer in terms of career growth opportunities. We envision it to reside in SharePoint and to include not only our Camus mission statement, but also a visual tour of each of our branches and their roles and responsibilities. The FI is another important piece of the puzzle. The PowerPoint would describe how the FI interacts with Camus, resources such as Here at Camus class and the FI tour information discussed earlier. Of course, it's imperative that it would include the fun side of our division, such as the holiday party, the core values barbecue, the well-being team, just to name a few. Our goal is to take advantage of the numerous resources available here at Camus in order to plant a solid platform of memories for each new hire who will call Camus their home. Continuing on in our vision is Shelley, and she will present to you our plan for the long-term mentoring program and also conclude our presentation.
Thank you, Cindy. Good afternoon. As Cindy mentioned, we also included long-term mentoring in our product backlog. We recommend establishing a one-year mentoring relationship with meetings held monthly. We believe this is important since mentoring is an excellent way for new hires to develop in their profession and adjust to their new job. From increased morale to improved productivity, there would be many benefits from a successful mentoring program for Camus. For example, benefits to the mentor might include giving the mentor a sense of accomplishment for helping someone else professionally. Also, mentoring will improve the mentor's coaching, communication, and counseling skills. Benefits to the new hire could be increased achievement by being encouraged to reach for higher goals, gaining new ideas and interpersonal skills, and also gaining insight on the culture of Camus. Some benefits to Camus division in general could be that mentoring increases comfort levels of the employees, which encourage commitment and loyalty and will lead to increased employee retention. The characteristics of a mentor should be: a good mentor cares about people and creates relationships built on trust. He or she has the desire to mentor, and he has subject matter and organizational knowledge. My team and I would like to emphasize to you that long-term mentoring is an effective way to help new hires progress and develop in their careers. A well-planned mentoring program will yield numerous benefits for Camus. Emerging leaders' learnings. From improving team building and leadership skills to becoming familiar with Agile, we learned valuable lessons on both technical and personal levels. On a technical note, we used the ADKAR model throughout the project. It was only at the very recent Change Champion class that we became aware that we were following it so closely. This model provides a framework of taking control of change, and it is used to manage resistance by helping to remove barriers. The slide lists the 5 key building blocks of ADKAR, and they are awareness, desire, knowledge, ability, and reinforcement. Another example of emerging leaders learning is on a personal note. We discovered a great deal about ourselves and each other. We became aware of what energizes us and what does not. On a few occasions, we encountered differing opinions regarding approaches to the project, but for the most part, we have a strong and cohesive team. While many teams follow the path of forming, storming, norming, performing, well, we did it a little differently. We formed, normed, performed, then stormed. We reformed, renormed, and then performed. The overall experience helped improve our communication and leadership skills, and we recognize that each team member had valuable input to contribute. The bottom line is, our team came together in a productive and positive manner in order to complete this project. This now completes our 4th deliverable. Yay!
Yay!
Look at
It's supposed to be a check.
Where's the check?
The check is here in spirit.
Supposed to be a check here.
But it's here in spirit.
Well, we finished it. So, as we leave you today with our findings and recommendations, we would like to draw your attention to the onboarding pilot packets being passed around as we speak. We created and used these packets during our implementation of the new hire pilot. They detail our deliverables and can help pave the way as a resource to welcome new Camus employees. We only made a few copies, but if anyone's interested in receiving an email, let us know. Feel free, we will send it to you. In closing, we would like to emphasize that a new hire's onboarding experience can influence his or her overall perception of Camus. Positive experiences increase job loyalty and commitment. Through a successful onboarding program, new hires will know they are valued and that we are excited to have them on board. On behalf of my team, we would like to thank you for listening to our presentation, and at this time we welcome any questions regarding onboarding. Thank you.